Sally Ride, supposedly the first woman in space. As I mentioned before, how the so-called elite love a play on names with Sally Ride, like taking a ride into space, and also the song Sally Ride. Let's take a look at this footage from 1983, supposedly aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. And let's take a look at this footage. First off, I want to point out, before playing the video itself, take a look at Sally Ride and look at her hair. You compare it to today's so-called astronauts, and you don't see her hair going up whatsoever. Look at this chubby guy as well. Let me play the video. This chubby guy on the treadmill. I mean, you'd think there'd be some type of weight requirements for an astronaut. Obviously not in this case. Take a look at this guy. I mean, give me a break. And look at her hair as well. Not going up like the other so-called astronauts. Let's back this up a little bit, just for reference. Hair looks fairly flat. Let's take a look at this photo, again, of Sally. And her hair looks a lot more puffy, more fluffy, up in the air, than while supposedly inside the supposed space shuttle. Okay, things don't add up. Things never make sense with this garbage. Now, let's take a look here at Judith Resnick. Take a look at her hair. Very similar type of hairstyle back in the 80s. This is where the inconsistencies come in. Take a look at the hair. Much more puffy and flowing like the supposed astronauts of today, which I'll get into right now. I showed this footage before of these astronauts. Take a listen to this newsman. This is complete mockery, asking these supposed crew members aboard the ISS if they're really in space or not. Give me a break. Take a listen.
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still? See the hair? Are you really in space still? See the hair?
Yeah, I see the hair, and I see the hairspray. In certain cases, they use hairspray. In certain cases, they're hung upside down. Her face is basically beet red. They did a combination, I believe, of hairspray, and they're upside down as well. And I'm going to get more into how they do this, how they fake all these supposed space missions. Now, let's take a look here. Talking about inconsistencies, let's take a look at astronaut Sunny Williams. And just take a look at this hair. Completely ridiculous. Now, the inconsistencies. Like I always say, you've got to have good discernment to see through the lies. Let's take a look here. What doesn't add up? First off, a little bit of a closer look at Sunny Williams. Very manly looking. But here's the problem. You see the hair standing up and these shorts going straight down. What's the deal with that? Again, you know, the devil is in the details, definitely. Definitely, this doesn't add up, doesn't make sense as usual. But of course, the NASA fanboys are going to rage, they're going to get all upset, and they're going to make excuses for this as usual. Now, let's take a look here at this footage. Again, getting back to Sally Ride. They add the K to the ride. I'll get into that in a little bit. But let's take a look at this footage in this interview with Sally Ride.
Huge expectations along with it. And that was made pretty clear just the day that I was told I was selected to the crew, because I was also taken up to Chris Kraft's office, who's the head of the Johnson Space Center, because he wanted to have a little chat with me and make sure that I knew what I was getting into before I agreed to be on the crew. But I was so dazzled just by the opportunity to be on the crew and go into space that I really don't remember very much of what he said. Way too easy to just be lost in the moment. I didn't really think about it.
Hair's going up a little bit, but again, not like the ridiculous still photos I showed earlier. And also the video of that one song called Astronaut with the orangish reddish hair.
That much at the time, because I just wanted to get the opportunity.
Now take a look here. I found this very interesting. Just look at her eyes while she talks about supposedly being the first woman in space. Very obvious of what's happening.
To do that. But
those eyes.
I came to appreciate what an honor it was to be selected to be the first woman to get a chance to go into space.
Look at those eyes flutter. And that is the sign of a liar. I'm going to play that one last time just for reference.
Because I just wanted to get the opportunity to do that. But I came to appreciate what an honor it was to be selected to be the first woman to get a chance to go into space.
I mean, that's ridiculous. How much her eyes are fluttering around Now take a listen here. I played this clip before from this TED conference. Take a listen to what this woman says. She's an expert on body language and telling when people are lying, the signs. Take a listen.
Many, many more indicators. We know, for example, liars will shift their blink rate, point their feet towards an exit.
Point their feet towards the exit. I found that interesting as well. They want to make their getaway. But again, one last look. Really pay attention to what she's saying and when the blinking really goes haywire when she talks about being the first woman basically into space. I'm going to play it right here. Take a listen one last time.
To get the opportunity to do that. But I came to appreciate what an honor it was to be selected to be the first woman to get a chance to go into space.
Right when she says, when she had the opportunity to be the first woman in space, basically her eyes went haywire. Let's take a look at this text here. I found it online as well. Spotting liars blinking. A person who is lying will blink a lot, as blinking seems to correlate to the amount of mental stress we are under. In a normal conversation where a person is attuned to you, he will blink at a roughly the same rate as you. Often at moments when you pause in your speech, be wary of someone who is blinking frantically as they speak with you. I mean, again, I'm going to show, I said only one last time, but this is so ridiculous how much she's blinking. Obviously, this is her subconscious taking over and under a lot of stress. Basically, the lies are basically, I believe, getting to her.
Opportunity to do that. But I came to appreciate what an honor it was to be selected to be the first woman to get a chance to go into space.
One thing I found interesting as well, again with the name Sally K. Ride, the reason the K is added, so you have the occultic number of 44 as well. Now I found this interesting as well looking at this video, this interview with Krista McAuliffe, and take a listen to what is said here. And this is what it's all about. These so-called space missions are all about getting so-called images, photos of the ball Earth. Clear as day. It's all about propaganda.
This new frontier.
Now, I want to stop right there before I let her continue speaking lies. The so-called ball Earth is all lopsided, irregular, not even perfectly round. Give me a break. Look at that.
The world
complete garbage.
As a unit. The people, I'm sure, who went to the moon because they were able to see the whole world as this globe.
And again, this is what it's all about with NASA. It's all about propaganda, faking the ball Earth to get the photos, supposed photos of the ball Earth. Now, knowing that all these people are nothing more than liars, paid propagandists, when it comes down to it, let's take a look here at this one photo of, again, Sunny Williams. She's pointing at all these logos with NASA. One thing I found very interesting, getting on the occultic side when it comes to NASA, these people are nothing more than, again, trained liars, trained into the lie system. What do you see here? This one logo. You see the XXX. I've mentioned this many times. If you follow my channel, this is, when it comes to Pythagorean numerology, the hidden code for 666 with 3 X's, being, of course, 3 6's, just like you see here with Astronaut, Don Pettit. What he's doing is basically circus act, supposedly aboard ISS. You see the XXX once again. Okay, what's the purpose? Of course, propaganda. Pushing the ball Earth lie and pushing the 666 propaganda as well. And I showed many clips of the movie They Live. And They Live is reality, which again I showed here with Roddy Piper. When you put the glasses on, you see reality. This is what the masses see. Okay, for those that are blinded. But this is the reality, what we see for those that are awake with their eyes open. Just like with Fox News. Not only do you see Fox, of course, you see the red and the blue. When you basically, again, you look at the number system, numerology chart with Pythagorean numerology, Fox being 666. So XXX is 666, so is Fox. So when it comes down to it, Fox is 666. As you see here, just like 20th Century Fox, basically 20th Century 666. Just like you see here as well with XXX water, vitamin water, is coded for 666. Going back in time, believe it's back in the 50s or 60s. Probably by the look of this car, even further back. And you have XXX root beer. So the whole concept goes back even further in time. And again, this clip with Roddy Piper from They Live, putting on the glasses and seeing things for what they really are. This is a reality where they give us truth in movies and lies in the news once again. Also, I noticed this billboard, a little hidden Easter egg. When you get a close-up, you see the coded, just like Chanel, with the hidden coded 33. Okay, just like you see here with the Pythagorean chart, CC is 33. So again, little Easter eggs is how they love to do it. How many people are going to see this? People are too busy watching the movie. They're not going to pay attention to these fine details. And the fine details is where the truth is, where they hide the truth. Just like you see here where you have Karen Nyberg and Chris Cassidy. Again, you get your CC for 33 and Karen Nyberg in numerology being a 33 name. And I demonstrated the concept of the 33. And if you don't have a 33 name, they're going to fit you in basically due to occultic reasons such as the Kelly twins. Scott and Mark, as you see here from years ago. This is them more recently. And the whole idea of twins. But first off, you see the orange. This is coded for 33 as well. And you see the concept of twins, duality, the mirror reflection. Now, for those that are new to my channel, I'll just show for reference how orange, the only color in numerology that is 33. The reason astronauts brought Tang to the moon. This movie clip here, again, truth in movies, lies in the news. Take a listen for those that have not seen it from the movie Coneheads.
Tang. Ah, Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon. Astronauts to the moon.
So they're laughing their butts off of the idea, these so-called aliens, with astronauts going to the moon. Okay, let's take a look here again with the concept of these astronauts. As you see here again with the hair. And they're basically being held up by harnesses. They're upside down. It's going to be clear as day with this photo. With Scott Kelly and Russian cosmonaut Mikhail Kornienko. Take a look here at his face. Look at their faces. They're obviously upside down. Again, the harnesses put to use. Let's get a little bit of a close-up of their faces. I mean, take a look at this. It looks like he's about to explode. And Scott Kelly as well. Now take a look at them. This is why. They're just upside down. And the blood is rushing to their faces. They look like a couple chickens. Completely ridiculous how these people partake in this. And I wonder how much they're being paid. I'm sure a lot of money to partake in this basic treason. Robbing not only the U.S. citizens, Russian citizens of billions of dollars. Again, they're trained in the whole idea of the lie system. And again, these people have no shame whatsoever. Pointing at these logos. And again, the cultic 666. So, no doubt whatsoever. If you believe in the media, the lies of NASA, you're 100% deceived. You're not interested in truth. You're interested in preserving your false reality. That's what it all comes down to. Nobody likes to be told, like I stated many times, they've been fooled, they've been deceived their whole entire lives. Obviously, see it once again, the blood is rushing in their heads. Complete joke. Give me a break.